Hello everyone, and well, what do we have here? This is sort of a side project that's both a joke and a serious level at the same time by my friend Big Ol' Billy. This is Doomsday of Zenimax, aka Forbidden Quake OST liner notes, or ZMDead.wad. And anyone with a decent knowledge of the Doom days of old probably knows what name this is in reference to. But in this one, it's basically the same idea, except it's Zenimax's. It's a Zenimax facility with a Quake theme. And the premise, while the level is serious, the premise is actually that there were liner notes written for the Quake soundtrack by Cam Carmack and McGee, I'm guessing, that Zenimax forced for multiple places to be taken down. So the whole idea is in this level, those notes are lost in Zenimax's facility, is what I get of the story basically. And for other credits, the Quake resources by Othal are from Dimension of the Boom, which is, in my opinion, an absolutely amazing piece of work that I recommend anyone go check out. I have a playthrough of it on my channel, but it's rather dated. The media from Parallel Dimensions, that's a Quake Team community project in progress, and it looks like there's also an OG Quake tune from Trent Reznor. Anyways, this is Capcom 1, let's get going. As this is still release candidate, I will be giving any feedback I think of. We'll play on hard. I think this music is the one from Parallel Dimensions, but I'm not sure. I thought the title screen music was the same as from Dimension of the Boom, but only the resource credit was given to Othal. I'll never get sick of this Quake look in the Doom hardware and software, engine. A little bit more pixelated than Quake looks, and they actually like that. Oh, that's a secret. I'm gonna try and do a secretless test though. And yep, we got the Quake sounds from the... because a lot of the resources were credited to Othal. They come from Othal's masterpiece, if I should say so myself. It's definitely one of my favorite WADs of its time. Yes, if you need any context, I just sort of gave the answer. Looking at the some boy looking at his computer. Sorry, I don't know who these pictures are, and it looks like it says 9 Inch Nails on there, which I know did the Quake soundtrack though. Well, here's the notes. In hindsight, it makes sense. A group of techno wizards working to open the digital gates to hell from within Suite 666. 666, a coincidence? Of a nondescript office building in Mesquite, Texas. Okay, that's id Software or Zenimax. End up collaborating with a band of digital maestros occupying an old funeral home 500 miles away in New Orleans, Louisiana. Of course, a nail gun would be invented so that the 9 Inch Nails NIN logo could be plastered in an ammo box full of nails. Well, that sounds like Quake to me. I don't think we have a nail gun here at the moment, though. I don't think even Dimension of the Boom did the Quake weapon. For a long time, computer games were the domain of the shutting geek. The required effort and imagination believed that the little collection of dots moving around the screen was actually a mighty hero or terrifying monster, made it easy for most people to dismiss the medium. Then came Doom. And it looks like it lights up when we step in a Quake-style touch plate. So yeah, I guess I'm trying to work with the lore at the same time I'm working with the level. Oh, here's another touch plate. We were all channeling an intensity. I should really go from probably read the orange text all at once or read the green text all at once. We were all channeling an intensity, dysfunction, rage, excitement, and creativity which perfectly meshed in the final product. There really couldn't have been a better soundtrack for those days of fast cows. Violent deathmatch, bought in the games and in the real life, help not in the real life, unbridled expressions of intelligence, ego, masculinity, curiosity, and discovery. The music, sounds, visuals, personalities, and technologies merged almost perfectly. So these are real notes we're looking at, or still an introduction? I'll probably know by the end what the notes are and what the introduction is. Another touch plate here, but let's try and deal with the gameplay first. As I said, this is actually a map to play as well. It doubles down as both a joke and a serious level, which I think is really cool. Where is that chain gunner coming from? Oh, he's shooting everyone. He doesn't see me, but I see him now. That's not the Dimension of the Boom chain gun, I don't think, because it was a faster chain gun. Though it's definitely a customized sprite. Music reminds me of map 1 of Dimension of the Boom, that I'm guessing is just a remix. It all started with the facts that anachronistic precursor to the digital wave upon which our games and music rode into the 90s. 9 Inch Nails is coming to Dallas, and the developers at id Software are invited to the show. The id offices will frequent stage to trance music. John and I would take turns I'm assuming McGee is writing this then, would take turns blasting Pretty Hate Machine alongside co-hosts such as Manson, Meat Beat Manifesto, and Depeche Mode. But there was something special about NIN's music which even before the invite we knew to mesh with what we were developing. And all this time I've never actually listened to the original Quake soundtrack. Them boys need to take the Ritalin. I took it for a couple years when I was young. muttered the cleaning guy as he swept up piles of broken audio and video cards from the floor outside Dave Taylor's office. Myself, assuming American McGee writing this, John Romero, and Seeing Green had just finished a round of PC Card Ninja, flinging discarded computer equipment at the sheetrock wall until a hole large enough to fit a head through had been made. The game stopped when the flying video card nearly decapitated Dave. Really, a flying video card? I doubt it. All the show at the show in downtown Dallas, we were out of our element. Geeks in the mosh pit, but we knew and loved the music and were excited to meet Trent for the first time. Coming backstage, he was kind and humble. We were fans. He was a fan. We did an awkward round of love your work and promised to find a way to continue talking about games and music. At that moment, I already had a sense we would work together and returned to the IT studio full of energy and excitement. The first trip to New Orleans was, like all the rest, surreal. Picked up at the airport by Chris Padboy Vrenna, who I've never heard of, by the way, in his Volkswagen Cabriolet, whisked through the streets of the Garden District towards the Nothing Studios and Magazine Street. Anne Rice lives there, said Chris as we passed Victorian Mansion, and that's Trent's place, as he pointed at a neoclassical mansion. I can't get beyond those pipes yet. Got to visit the side area, it seems. Whoa! I didn't expect those barrels on the boxes to light up. Okay, these stale textures are misaligned. Oh! I need to get a little closer to the notes to read them. The studio was the fun in... Okay, I'm wondering if Big Ol' Billy is holding the computer screen intentionally too far away here for me to read it that clearly. I don't have the best vision, admittedly, but if you don't want me to wait to read it after pressing the button, please move it a little closer. It's a little... Whoa! That outrail, that removed the pipes. I thought I was gonna have to go the path of the blue screens to remove the pipes. It would be nice if the outrail could actually come outside with me. He might be able to. I might have just pushed him back too easily. But I wouldn't do a monster block line here. Man, if Doomworld was still doing Mac Awards, being half a joke, why this would probably be pretty much a shoo-in for it. Unfortunately, the last Mac Award rolled off the press in 2016. That is a chain gun sprite from Dimension of the Boom. Woke and the sounds and music for Quake consisted of daily review of newly produced sound effects by the hundreds, a break to watch super deviant porn until someone retched, the production of childlike anthems and mini musical bits to be broadcast around the studio for the amusement of all, swamp tours, Cajun food, and marathon bow, hopping across the watering halls of the French Quarter in New Orleans. Many an insane night ended at Checkpoint Charlie's. I've heard Checkpoint Charlie a lot, and yet I've never actually looked up what it means. Better kill the mancubus before reading. It might be useful if the mancubus could actually enter the playing area and there wasn't a monster black line here. Maybe he can, I don't know. Does not look like he wants to enter the playing area. Do you want a lino? Seemed an odd question from the girl who just exited the bathroom in front of me. I walked back to the bar. I think that girl just offered me cocaine. To my side, someone spoke in Daddy Knows Best voice. Well, Dad's always right, and when rule 1 is that Dad's always right, and when Dad's not right, we fall to rule number 2, right? Voice. Listen, American. Drugs are bad. Coke is bad. Muffled laughter from the group. You guys are full of... I observed. Everyone laughed. He's alright, he's alright, he's alright. Cocaine. Cocaine. These visits to New Orleans resulted in a collection of sound effects and music which lived out on the edge of what could be done with organic and meaty sounds in those early days of digital music. In much the same way the Doom and Quake games pushed the boundaries of what the technology was capable of to render pixels representing the darkest depths of horror and pain. Earlier games and music lacked the fidelity to move you emotionally in the way Quake and its soundtrack did, and later offerings became almost too literal, too shiny, too real. I'm assuming maybe later offerings are talking about Half-Life. I personally think Wolfenstein 3D and Doom could move you like Quake, I mean them being the predecessors. Whoa! Trap! Whoa! Got me with that one, Billy. Did not see the trap coming. There's a Zoke, a blue key, and 2 more notes to... That's a secret. Wait, no, it's just the way out. It's pretty clear because it's mismarked. In the dirty fuzzy output from id and 9 Inch Nails was something perceived as sharper and more real than the individual bits. It required your brain to work and to fill in the spaces with imagined shadows and barely heard whispers behind a maelstrom of chainsaw buzzes and flying gore. The overt sonic satanic tones gave way, that's from Doom I would think, gave way to a dark humor only achieved by those who struggling in the abyss with novel tools to create something real. Oh, yeah, I was smart enough to know you were gonna have a trap for me there, Billy. Not much of a trap, but it would certainly get me if I was reading the notes. After Quake and Quake 2, it began to change. The old guard was slowly replaced by a new crew. The connection to the grit of what made Quake and the collaboration with Nine Inch Nails so great was lost. Yeah, I wish it had done another masterpiece after the Quake series. The Quake 2 is pretty far removed from Quake 1 as it is almost like just another game. The internal personal struggles that lent energy to the creativity was supplanted by a corporate mentality of schedules, designs, deadlines, and guidelines. Rules were imposed. The chaos was replaced by order. But the soundtrack remains as a reminder of those messy days of invention and exploration. And we're all the better for them, I think. So this blue door probably is a secret area. What is that? That's like a music picture or something? Yup, that blue door is a secret after all. Oh, well, I found both secrets, so I can confirm 100% secrets is doable. Oh, yup, now it's time to go the green way. So there's a picture at the beginning of each route too. That's a 9 Inch Nails picture at the computer. And this is... I don't know that's a picture of, I wish I recognized faces better. It's someone else at their computer though, and with a skeleton in the background. I'll restart this story to give good context. For a long time, computer games were the domain of the shut-in Greek. The required effort of imagination to believe that the little collection of dots moving around the screen, also known as pixels, I think was actually a mighty hero, well that's a character, or terrifying monster made it easy for most people to dismiss the medium. But then came Doom. Oh, I get a plasma gun here. Okay, I should have a better view to the yellow note. I need that stuff on the side here. Especially when I'm doing 100% test, I need the items. So yes, I know going between gameplay and storytelling is not my standout video, but I hope you enjoy it. As I said, this is kind of a 2-in-1 production. Suddenly, the broader world was seeing something that made an impact, even if you didn't understand what was going on. The violence and demonic imagery from a first-person shooter view was key to the experience, but it wasn't completely coincidental that it did a pretty good job of offending the easily offended. We got to see congressional outrage attack from explicit song lyrics to violent video games, with senators waving copies of the games around and televising. Certainly any shootings that were blamed and Doom didn't help with that, I presume. The success of the game led to some surprising places, including picking up backstage passages labeled Doom at the will call window for a 9 Inch Nails concert. The media heralded us as rockstar game developers, and we did have some of the indulgent trappings of great success at a young age, but there we were talking about games with Trent Renzo, who really is a different sort of thing. Okay, so that you see the note I missed earlier. The studio was a fun house, like something run by a deranged Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka, doesn't that sound similar to a Lost Episodes boss in Spear or something? Filled to the brim with every imaginable electronic music toy and tool, there were a ragtag collection of collaborators and bands in league with the NIN crew: Charlie Clouseau, Jordi Wright, or Twiggy Ramirez, and Manson materialized willy-nilly in the labyrinth corridors of the building complex. Yes, that definitely belongs with the Gold storyline, and I think the distance between this and this should be made a little bit closer, in my opinion, unless it's supposed to be hard to read. Okay, you've given me a big outdoor area, though. You'd better give me a nice fight. Well, I better read this before I pick up the invisibility. It was great to meet Trent and talk about our work, but what if we could actually involve him directly in Quake, the next big project? That would be awesome. He agreed. The new lighting and level design capabilities, which I, by the way, honestly think most custom levels for Quake are better than the originals, were leading us in a direction even more dark and moody than Doom. I actually think, to be honest, Doom's a lot more colorful, and it maybe even has some more personality to it. But, well, what id Software thought is what id Software thought. I still enjoyed playing Quake. And you could say we were already inspired by the 9-inch Nails CDs in heavy rotation at the office. Now I wonder what happens when I pick up this. Well, you know, I've seen a switch. I better pick that up and then flip the switch. Come on, I need hit scanners if you're gonna give me... Oh, those hit scanners. Ask for it, you'll get it. Those barrels just killed me. I better destroy them. Standing by barrels when I'm killing monsters isn't a good idea. Oh, another room with a lot of hit scanners. Get a little gameplay moment here, and the pain element of all things, which this room might be nice with a little bit more lighting, perhaps. Though oh no! Can I please? Oh, okay, there's a way out of the lava. I know there's more notes to read. I need to gameplay first. I would think 2 medkits instead of 4 there was probably enough, unless there's more fighting to come. A whole bunch of text screens here. Well, it was amusing to imagine Trent composing music for the chintzy FM synth sound cards of the day. We had a new tool available for us with the advent of CD-ROM drives. Because I think Doom came and the Wolfenstein first came in a diskette. The advent of CD-ROM drives, we could run full quality music. Okay, there's a period missing somewhere there in the background while the game played. I would say it should say, with to us, period, With the advent of CD-ROM drives, camera, we could run full quality music in the background while the game played, period. Legal complications prevented the use of any vocals, but there was a wide open field for building the soundscape of the game. Over the course of a year, American McGee repeatedly made the trip down to New Orleans. Willie made a lot of New Orleans, I'm assuming it's a true story, to work with Trent and his crew as they dove into the sound effect creation as well as the background audio. There wasn't any real thematic arc to the game, so we had the freedom to mix and watch the compositions with whichever levels just felt right. As a final touch, we had the nail gun, the number 4 weapon, and the super nail gun, the number 5 weapon for the game. So with one more check in the lawyer of the lawyers, we also wound up with a 9-inch nails logo on the in-game ammo boxes. And this is probably about the time in which the 9-inch nails reference was in E4M1 of Ultimate Doom as well, I'm guessing. Quake turned out to be a very difficult project to ship due to both scope, ambition, and internal issues. The Rockstar, there should be a period there, internal issues, period. The Rockstar game developers broke up at the end of it with the exit of co-founder John Romero. How sad. Still, by almost everyone's account, everyone apostrophe S, there shouldn't be an apostrophe in everyone's, comma, it is among the most influential games ever made, and it was a formative experience for a great many of the developers building the hits of today. Okay, so there should be internal issues, period. The Rockstar game developer broke up, and what was our missing comma? Still, by almost everyone's account, it is among the most influential games ever made, and it was a formative experience for a great many of the developers. Now okay. I broke up at the end of it with the exit of co-founder John Romero. Okay, all of a sudden I see I remember there were, it should be, there was an apostrophe missing somewhere. They were from up for a great many of the developers. By almost everyone apostrophe S account, because that's a possessive word. I forget I should be doing my spell checking. There wasn't any, that should have an apostrophe and it wasn't. With the advent of CD-ROM drives, period, we could run full quality music in the background while, a new tool available to us, period. With the advent of CD-ROM drives, we could run full quality music in the background while the game played. Okay, I think I found, I didn't mean to do it. I think I've pointed out the spelling errors in this room so far. I hope that feedback is I hope Billy's actually looking for that feedback to some extent. That falling into the well reminds me of the start of E4 and 2 of Quake already. Let me see. Several years and games passed, and id Software eventually turned our attention back to Doom. This led to the one that got away. Trent was excited to work with us again on audio, and actually produced hundreds of megs of sound for the project before it all fell apart in negotiations. So was this like the early Doom 3 with his then manager? Everyone came out of it boned. After over 20 years making games... Oh no, this is probably talking about Doom 4, I'm guessing. After over 20 years making games at id Software, I moved on to work at virtual reality at Oculus. In an odd bit of synchronicity, not long after Trent scored the social network, Facebook acquired Oculus. Really, I actually didn't know that. Oh, the teleport well. I gotta go back over and do a quick spell check and everything. I should have just been doing that all along. I pointed out the issues I found in the last room. You better give me a bigger fight than that with the BFG. Really? Well, I guess I'm not out of this room yet. No, I pretty much am. I would think that BFG would lend itself to a bigger fight. And the last 9-inch nails tore through Dallas. An invitation was again extended to my team, and I carried an early prototype virtual reality head. Okay, so now we're into the 2010s, definitely. Headset backstage. Well, I enthused about the exciting potential of virtual reality for all sorts of creative experiences. Our two brand new engineers were left wide-eyed. Work hard, build the future, comma, and meet rock stars. There should be a comma before and meet rock stars. In still hoping to someday get Trent involved in building a seminal virtual reality experience that will leave a mark on people. I'm still hoping. Oh, I'm should have an apostrophe. I apostrophe am still hoping. Maybe there will be another generation of retrospective liner notes when we are both pushing 70. That sounds like the end of the story. And now with both keys, what do I do from the facility? Oh, I got to check my spelling. Okay, that doesn't, I don't see any spelling mistakes there. But it wasn't completely coincidental, should have an apostrophe in it. Okay, those last two I haven't seen any arrows in. Oh, I missed some energy cells. Again, please move this one closer. Who else meant to be seen? I would think it would be there was a ragtag collection, not there were a ragtag collection. Okay, I think I already reviewed all the text. Yep, I reviewed all the text in this room earlier. For arrows. And I reviewed this as well. So now I just need to review the gold side for arrows. I should have just thought to do that as I was playing. I think it should be ended up collaborating on the 7th line, not end up collaborating. Ended up collaborating with a band of digital maestros. Couldn't should have an apostrophe. It looks like I've seen no apostrophes on these text screens. The really couldn't have, that should have an apostrophe. Trent's music, that should have an apostrophe. Well, frequent stage to Trent's music. Trent apostrophe S. But there was something special about NIN apostrophe S music, which even before, I would think it should be which comma even before the invite comma we knew to mesh with what we were developing. Them boys need to take the Ritalin, mutter the cleaning guy. The camera should go outside the quotes there, I think. Dave Taylor's office. Taylor's should have an apostrophe in it. At that moment, camera I already had a sense. Okay, camera Anne Rice lives there, said Chris. I think the camera goes outside the quotes. And that's Trent's place, same thing. And Trent is possessive, it should have an apostrophe. Also, picked up at the airport by Chris Padboy Verena in his Volkswagen Cabriolet. That's a sentence fragment, so I'm guessing the period there should be a comma. Like, comma, then, whisked through the streets. Now, of course, if you're just copying notes exactly, then all of these are pointless. But if not, I'm trying to find the arrows, possible arrows. That I already reviewed, but again, I'd make it a little closer. The production of childlike anthems, camera, and mini musical bits. Oh, wait, no camera there, I'm wrong. Because the camera is before camera and marathon bar hopping. Okay, there's no arrows in that screen, I see. Okay, after you guys are full of again, the camera should probably be outside the quotes. Yep, that's one of the secrets. Finally, I think on the last tech screen to review. After Quake and Quake 2 camera, it began to change. I think there should be a camera after Quake 2. And the old guard was slowly replaced by a new crew. And of course, if you're just copying exactly from the notes, well, letter for letter, punctuation mark for punctuation mark, then it's perfectly fine for them to stay. For any issues I pointed out to stay in, you could have basically skipped this part entirely and they'll mention that. I realized I can actually jump, but still I can't get a good view of that text screen. Exit requires board keys. Oh. And of course we'll have a cyber demon. Might be nice to have a fight spawn in behind us to use the BFG on. Like maybe have some revenant spawn in behind at the end here for a final fight. Overall, the gameplay was pretty good for a level that I'm guessing isn't supposed to be that challenging. Okay, I'm missing items. Let me just go into my cheat mode to check items for 100%. I'll give a skip interval for any other viewers who don't want to see me find potential typos. Oh, they're all the way back in the first room. Oh, that lift is misaligned. Right here. Don't know why I didn't pick up all those health bonuses when, I knew I was gonna check test for 100%. Yeah, so all in all, good map, and I'll say skip to heal if you don't. I'll definitely give a skip interval for all of those who don't want to hear my proofreading part, including if Billy himself isn't worried about it, but I wanted to include it in case. And if you enjoyed this video or my videos in general, please feel free and welcome to comment. I always appreciate them. You can make requests, especially for play testing, and there should be a subscribe link in the video. So this is Catcomb 1, and oh, thanks for playing. But not done yet. Not quite yet. Just some screenshots. I forgot there's a second level in this, just as a closeout. Nope. That's all we can do here. No matter, Nothing to really look at. Just so this is Capcom 1 signing off now. Oh, and I would better wave to Big Ol' Billy have added the hack dump, so it says like map 2 credits, map 1 Doomsday of Zenimax. So this is Capcom 1 signing off.